What's up, everybody? SJG here, and you are watching the Road Warriors on HBCU Gameday. Of course, if you missed last season, I don't know what you were doing, but hey, it's a new year, new you, new us. But it's the same crew. We got myself, Joshua Williams, and Jacoby Simmons as we prepare you guys for the 2026 HBCU football season. And I know y'all know that them saxophones are getting just a little bit louder because we're only a couple of days away. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing today?
I'm chilling, baby. How about you, Jai? It's beautiful.
Good, doing good. Ready to get the season rolling.
Yeah, it's coming whether we're ready or not. So again, we're trying to refresh everybody to what this is. So at HBCU Gameday, we actually for the most part do our best to get out there, especially during football season and basketball too, get out and go to the games, be amongst the people in the crowds, and put boots on the ground and cover these games, covering, obviously, these guys are two camera extraordinaires and they tell stories primarily with their cameras. Me, I'm a little bit all over the place, but you already know that. And last year we decided, we have so many interesting stories or so many things that go on at the games besides which end up on the highlights, that we thought it was only right to bring you guys behind the corner a little bit. And again, these guys are usually behind the camera, so that you don't always get to hear from them quite as much. So I want to make sure that we bring in their insights. So guys, how's everybody been? Catch everybody up on what's been going on. We'll start with the elder of the situation, Jacoby.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring age into this. That's what we're gonna do. I mean, I ain't been doing nothing. I've been in MEAC Media Day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I had a great summer. My wife got her doctorate this summer. You know what I mean? So okay. I'm definitely the stupidest one in the house. So, I get to enjoy, walking around and somebody saying Dr. Simmons.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But... Congratulations to Mrs. Simmons. So shout out to her. And Josh, let everybody know. Go ahead and let them know what's been going on with you, man.
I'm good now. But I had a little rough summer. Had a tragic accident to where I fell off of a stage at a trail ride function. Fell off the stage. Had to have emergency surgery to get 57 stitches put into my leg. Was immobile for about like a month and a half, and by the grace of God, I didn't break no bones, didn't hit no artery, didn't tear nothing too serious. Just had to have stitches. Got a little nerve damage in the leg, but it'll be all right within 5 to 6 months. But we finally back healthy, we back walking. I actually shot my first game last Friday during high school, and it felt good to be back outside. So just happy to be back on my feet.
Yeah, man, man, super happy that you're back on your feet, man. Sorry you had to go through that, man. But sometimes, man, we go through things in life, and when we survive them, we appreciate them. Yeah. Appreciate things that much more. Since this is Road Warriors, I literally just got off the road, and I was in an accident. So we're in full transparency. So. It was unfortunate. Nobody wants to be in an accident, but, thankfully I was able to walk away from it. My car was still able to drive away from it. And hey, we're here. Hey, man, we got football to cover. We got so many things going on. So, yeah, man, I appreciate everybody and glad everybody's here in one piece. Got the pieces together, and let's get ready. Now they're calling it week 0. They're still calling it week 0, but now everybody is playing, right? It used to be the only game you would get this week would be the MEAC Swag Challenge, the Cricket MEAC Swag Challenge presented by Toyota. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. But now, we do have a plethora. We got a whole smorgasbord, a smorgasbord of HBCU football action going on this week. D1, D2, all of that good stuff, Thursday night games, all of this good stuff. So let's get started. HBCU football is here, no matter what you call it. Week 1, week 0, it's here. So I'm gonna ask Josh first, and then Jacoby. Give me one thing that you cannot wait to find out about the HBCU football season. And I'm gonna make it even more specific. This week, find out in the first week that you can't wait to find out.
Well, not to spoil too much about my week 1 where I'm going to be going, but one thing that I hope to find out for the season is the MEAC going to be competitive. I hope the MEAC is going to be competitive. It's not going to be a two team race. Hopefully, it's not going to be just two teams battling it out to see who's going to be the MEAC champion like it's been in the past 5-6 years. So week 1, I will see if one of the teams is actually going to emerge from the bottom to somewhat being a contender. So I'll see about that. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Okay. All right, Jacoby, you?
Well, I'm just sitting here trying to find out if we got all these expectations for all these coaches and all these teams that we had last year, if they can maintain that momentum and bring that into this year. That's what I want to know. For example, we got Delaware State, for example, Johnson C. Smith, for example. You got Winston-Salem, for example. All those teams. So I want to see if they can back up all the smack talk or what people believe and what people expect from them. Or I'm going to be like Biggie. There's going to be a lot of slow slinging and flower bringing. I tell you that. So I want to see that happen, man.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start with the Mideastern Athletic Conference heading into 2026. Obviously, for those who don't know, the last 2 years, South Carolina State has completely run through this conference, which is why Josh was asking about, whether or not it was going to be a 2-horse race. Obviously last year, Deshaun Jackson got Delaware State to where there was a de facto MEAC championship game, even though the MEAC does not have a championship game. But anyway, they were right there. Everything was there for the taking in Dover, Delaware, and South Carolina State just came and took it. Jacoby and I were there. I got a chance to go to my first Del State game, which I've now been to every MEAC stadium, which, there's only 6 of them, right? But, I've actually been to all of the HBCU stadiums from Delaware to South Carolina now. So I'm official now. I've been there to all of those. I just wanted to pop my collar on that. But South Carolina State, we saw what they did, of course, and they are predicted to finish number 1 again. Mm-hmm. But let's look at this predicted order of finish. We talked about this last week. But let's talk about, I'm sorry, not last week. We talked about this last month. But, obviously we had, South Carolina State picked to finish number 1. Still North Carolina Central, even after falling back to 3rd place last year, they're projected to finish 2nd above Delaware State. And then you've also got, of course, Del State. Then you got Morgan. It's, they're always in the middle. Morgan in the middle. And then up at the tail end, you got, God, who else do we got? We have Norfolk State, actually, who only won 1 game. They're on an 11-game winning streak. Why not make it 12? I'm just saying 12 is a nice round number. But anyway, they got a 11-game losing streak, but they still got predicted to finish above Howard University with the new head coach, Ted White, the MEAC Hall of Famer and legend. So I'm going to ask both of you guys. We'll start with Josh and then Jacoby. What sticks out most to you about how this was picked, and when we look at the end of the season, what are we going to say? There's no that team was picked way too high or way too low.
I think the sole reason why they put Norfolk State ahead of Howard, just because they probably felt like Vic was going to do a better job of recruiting this year. Probably more transfers were going to come in, more players are more looking towards to go there. Even though they had a bad season, it's Michael Vick. It's going to be pretty easy to recruit whenever you're Michael Vick, compared to where Howard ended up on a slow slope, didn't look like it was going to get any much better. So I feel like that's kind of where they went within that. I don't really know. I still personally would put Howard over Norfolk, but I can kind of see if that was the reasoning why they did it the way they did. So that's just my personal opinion on it. What you think about it, Cobi?
Well, I think it's wide open. You know, in a sense, we know that it's South Carolina State and then everybody else. You know, the question is, though, that there's no best quarterback in the MEAC. We all got to figure that out. The thing about it is we know that South Carolina State has the offensive defensive line, and they're going to bring them horses. Now, when you put somebody in, he already got a couple playmakers. North Carolina State, you know, they got to replace
Central.
I'm sorry. North Carolina Central. I apologize. Excuse me. We know they got to replace their quarterback, right? And was it Josh Jones? Right? Who's their quarterback? Josh Jones. MEAC for first team MEAC quarterback. He might not even be first team. He might not even be starting at Central, right? You got Howard. You don't know. They got Jay-Sean Scroggins. He might not be starting at Howard. Cameron Edge just came into Morgan State from Eastern Michigan and Maryland transfer. They got the guy Delaware State, got the guy Samari. Forget his name, big time transfer. I think it was East Carolina or Coastal Carolina. So, you know, I was always taught, or I always heard, the team with the best quarterback most of the time wins, right? So, besides, we all know everybody has to catch South Carolina State. They're the class of the MEAC right now. Trey Oliver, culture over scheme, is definitely going to be tested, but he's proven. As much as people want to say stuff about him and his teams, he produces and they're consistent. The one I think that's the scariest team on there is if Cameron Edge is a quarterback at Morgan State. That this might be a whole thing. We always know Morgan State has great defenses. They lost 1 million games by less than 6 points or in the last minutes. If they learn how to win and Cameron Edge can be the quarterback, Damon Wilson definitely stated that this was his smartest quarterback room. You know, that's a big thing. We know Central got playmakers. If he can get somebody else, if they can just manage the game and get the ball into the playmakers' hands, you know what I'm saying? And then Vic has a dark horse. I think Michael Vick's quarterback, the kid from the JUCO in California, may be a dark horse. So, you know, the MEAC, to me, is wide open. Damon Wilson definitely has Morgan State and has a quarterback, which we know is the X factor at Morgan. They just can't get a quarterback, and if this is the first year with one, we'll see how the offense operates. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it right now. It's just wide open, and anybody can win it right now, but we know the clear front runner is South Carolina State.
Yeah, Josh, anything you have to add there on, you know, the MEAC in general? We're gonna get into some more. Well, let's just go ahead and talk about it. Let's go to look at Dell State. All right. So as Cobi alluded to, man, you know, North Carolina Central, they lost Walker Harris, you know, who was the 2-year starter, and then before that they had Davius Richard, and so this is the first time since pre-COVID that they don't know who their quarterback is, or they don't have a guy who's been seasoned and groomed and has significant starting experience. I don't think Jones ever even started. I don't think Walker Harris missed any games. So I do know, there was some.
I think he missed one, and Jones started for one game, if I'm not mistaken. But I
think Jones has thrown under 10 passes.
Yeah, I do recall in the UNC game that they played 2 years ago, Walker Harris got hurt right after halftime, and then Jones had to come in and finish the game.
Gotcha. So yeah, so we know that they are missing their quarterback, but also South Carolina State as well. You know, last year they kind of came in that we weren't sure who their quarterback was going to be, but we did know. But you know, hey, it ended up being Billy Atkins for most of the season. He did a great job, a bang-up job, and won that thing, and you know, did his thing, and then we get to the Celebration Bowl in the first half. You know, they're struggling. He's taking some hits. They come in the second half, and Ryan Stubblefield got his chance, you know, to write himself in South Carolina State history, you know, as the quarterback there. So, you know, last year there was no clear-cut quarterback, but you had two seasoned seniors. And And then also, again, I mean, if you look at the top 3 schools, all have questions at quarterback. When you add South Carolina State, North Carolina Central, and Delaware State, yeah, Josh, with you, do you think that Delaware State, in your estimation, is it the start of a great story, or is it just a 1-year wonder in your estimation?
In my estimation, I think it's the start of a great story. I simply feel that way because D-Jack has simply built up a culture within that Delaware State team in just 1 year. You could just tell by, how Cobi can vouch for it as well, like the energy in the locker room, the energy in the pregame, the energy during practice. Like, it's always been like a culture that he's trying to build within Delaware State. And then also within it as well, a lot of the stuff that went well for Delaware State last year wasn't primarily based on the quarterback. They had a really, really, really good defense that a lot of people slept on, with a great run game. And it's like, within that, you don't really need a quarterback to make all the throws like a Walker Harris would. Would it be great? Yeah, it would be 100% great to have that. But they relied so much on that running game. They had 2 running backs that were very much dominant in the MEAC, that ran all over the MEAC. So it's like, I'm pretty sure, like, yes, they would love to find a quarterback, but Deshaun Jackson has pretty much built that offense around being able to run the ball, dominate the O-line, and control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. So I feel like it's the start of a good story, because if there's one team outside of South Carolina State that has a good O-line that I can trust, because that's one thing that you can worry about. Not that you don't have to worry about within football, is if you got a good O-line, good D-line, you can figure everything else out. You got good O-line that can hold it down, good D-line that can stuff the run, get to the quarterback. We can figure out who can be the quarterback. We can figure out who's going to be our weapons on the outside. Let's just make sure we get the front 7 locked in first.
And Jacoby, I will say, Josh, you talked about the 2 running backs, but Jacoby, if I'm not mistaken, both of those leading rushers are gone, right? I know Gillis is gone, and
he's at Arizona,
and his second, and the other back as well. What do they have? Do they have anything left in the tank in terms of the running game? You've got a chance to see them, more than we have. So your thoughts?
Well, this is the first thing I wanted to say. I told Josh that same thing he's talking about now, week 1, and he ain't want to believe me. I don't believe it till I see it. It's Delaware State. Now they got a great culture. They got blah, 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 and Cobi can vouch for it. Yes, I can vouch for it. Now, what I would like to say is right here.
I told you so. That's Cobi's first I told you so of the season. Yes. It will not be his last. It will not be his last of this show. So it will not be the last of the show. Kick it.
And so when we're sitting here breaking this down, I do agree. They got a great offensive line. They got great defensive players. They're very big and a very physical team. But they brought in a new quarterback in August, right? I feel like the MEAC, when it comes to quarterback, got more auditions than the Tyler Perry movie, right? Everybody sitting there trying to get a job at the last minute. So sitting here, you figuring it out. Like, I do think he's trying to figure out. But when you get a quarterback in August, he either got to be coming in as the number 1 and have high expectations, or you see that your room has some problems in that game. They still got Kobe Boykins. He got jets. That young fella got jets. And if they open some holes for him, we're going to see that. Because, the thing about Collier is that he has a skill set. But I think what D-Jack's been talking about is improving the passing game. And that's what he's really looking to do, and make some, because he got talent. He got big receivers. He got little receivers. He got a big tight end. So, I think he wants to move the ball. I think running, yes, they will be a physical team. But I think he wants to do a little bit more on offense. And they got Nemo Williams. And that brother, I don't know what it is. I've watched him, this whole season, and watching their offense play and how they play, man, they put up points. So if he gets a quarterback that's a little bit more accurate, that has a little bit more command of the offense, people are going to have problems. And, this is what I feel. Deshaun Jackson looked at his quarterback room and said, guess what? Bring me another. When you get somebody in August, what else can you say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In August, that's pretty late. If a lot of people don't know football, that's very, very late. You normally want to bring in transfers around spring ball, early, whenever before school ends in May. You want to bring them in early so you can get that practice in. But you bring them in August. You got August, then the season starts literally at the end of August. First game
3 weeks.
Just coming up this Saturday. So to learn an offense, to build a culture, to get understood with the guys, to build the timing on those routes, it's going to take a lot more time than it is for other players that have been there in February, January, March, April, May. Like, it's going to be a lot easier for them to get that timing down compared to a quarterback coming in late in August. So like Cobi said, like I could just vouch of like there's definitely some problems going on with that room, and let's bring in somebody else to try to fix on in. And like he said, you don't bring in somebody in August to not start. That's just a waste of time. You're just wasting your time at that point.
But I do like Sorey, and they still got a kid that was from Philly that was pretty good. He was hurt last year. So we'll see.
Okay. All right, so yeah, a lot to look forward to up there. Now we got to look at the other end of the celebrity spectrum. Michael Vick, Norfolk State last year. You know, I think a lot of people thought that maybe out of the two he might have I think most people thought he would probably have a better season. You know, just depending on what Norfolk State had done under the previous coach versus what Delaware State, what people thought they had coming in there. But obviously, that's why they play the games on the field and not on paper. And they were, one field goal away from, one field goal away and barely getting into overtime away from a winless season in year one under Michael Vick. I know, we all got a chance to see Vick on the sidelines at different games. I know Josh and I were at the first one. Jacoby was at the game with against Delaware State. So, we all know that last year, and I mean, anybody who saw his TV show knows that last year was a pain. This year, let's just play. Let's just keep it. Let's just keep it. A buck. How many wins are you giving Norfolk State? Each one of you guys.
Who they gonna beat?
Yeah, that's my thing, because I was looking at their schedule before the show.
Their closest game is Winston-Salem State.
If I said their best chance is beating Winston, honestly.
And then they play Howard. And Howard and I'm gonna wait because I have a lot to say about Howard too.
They also play VUL and Chicago State. So don't play it. Don't play.
Okay. So they got Winston.
Hold on, Cobi.
VUL, Chicago State. There you go. You just named their wins.
But before we get started, Cobi, we gotta make sure that we vouch, we don't want to be put in the BET cliffs whenever we're wrong and they come back to us, and stuff like that.
Man, that's what it is.
I just want to say,
until we see different, right?
Until we see otherwise.
Until we see different. So before
they're not going to win. They're going to lose this week. But go ahead.
So the difference, you got to understand this. When you look at what Vic constructed as his coach and his systems and his structures, right? And then you look at what DJ put around him, it's a completely different ball game. When you see with Delaware State, with all those pro coaches, all those coaches that came in and the structure that was set up, and then you look at Vic. I mean, Vic's coaching staff is true to who Vic is. He's a loyal, he's a caring and supportive person. I'll leave it at that. But that's also the thing that could be the problem.
And I'm gonna say this week, this Saturday will tell us a lot about how the season was going to go. It'll tell us a lot, because if I'm pretty sure Steven can recall whenever Winston went to A&T thought they was going to just punch him in the mouth, and Winston was like, "Nah, you're going to have to fight for this win. It ain't going to be that easy." So don't.
And Winston has an advantage.
Coach. Yeah, they got the new coach. Coach.
But where did he coach before he went there?
He just came from Norfolk, so he gonna know a little something.
This might be revenge.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna say this. I will say, because I've been keeping touch on it, he has brought in some good transfers, but not at the right positions. He's brought in a lot of skill guys. I've been watching. It's a lot of skill guys. But that wasn't the problem last year. They had good skill guys last year. The problem is their O-line and their D-line. And the quarterback was too inconsistent throughout the season. I mean, one game me and Steve went to, it was one quarterback, then another quarterback came in at halftime, and he did better. The next thing you know, the quarterback that did better wasn't even starting the next game. So it was just like, I know it's too many inconsistencies with that Norfolk State team to where I don't know what to expect. So for the wins, though, they got to be VUL. Has to. And Chicago State got to. Winston,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if I can give them that right now. I don't know.
I understand. You know, Bubba Dub said it best, right? That one quarterback for Norfolk State last year. You know Bubba Dub, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know he says it best. Trash.
Okay, all right, there we go. So, all right, let's go over to the CIAA. All right, so predicted order to finish that dropped earlier this year. So we had we had Lincoln at number 11. We had Shaw at number 10. We had Bluefield State at number 9. We had Bowie State at number 8. We had Elizabeth City at number 7. Livingstone College at number 6. Winston-Salem State predicted to finish 5th. 4th, Virginia State. 3rd, Fayetteville State. 2nd, Johnson C. Smith. And first, those guys from Lombard Street, Virginia Union. All right, so, all right, let's go down the rabbit hole here. Virginia State, they've got R.J. Matthews back, the quarterback. Do you know?
He should have hit the portal. I think he should have hit the portal.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he didn't. But again, I like it when the D2 guys show some loyalty or what have you, and I think that says a lot about him. But if I was Dell State, I don't know why they wouldn't have gone after him.
That's what I was going to say. Dell State, Norfolk State. I don't know why they didn't attack him much harder. Like, he's literally a great quarterback that could fit both of their systems perfectly. And also, I was going to say this too. Him at Central would have been nice to see. With Coach Oliver, I mean, he just had Davius. We can't say that he ain't got a little Davius in his game, just a tad. I think it could have worked, but continue. I don't want to get off track.
It could have, but again, I like it when I like it when we got some guys that have some loyalty, man. It's not a lot of that in this day and age, and I'm not just trying to cast that on the young people, but it is good that he shows some loyalty, and maybe he still feels like he has some development to do before he would go up there, because we saw. We've seen varying sense of these CIAA guys transferring up. We saw Isaiah Freeman when he transferred up to Hampton. I mean, he had some kind of mixed, and now he's at Howard. He had some mixed results. We'll see what Dalen Lee does over at Tennessee State this week. They're going to take on Jackson State. So we'll see what he's got going on over there. But, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world,
Steve, but look at Virginia State's facilities, right?
Yeah.
So unless it's some NIL or some big money, it's not like he's leaving a program with terrible facilities and comforts, all those other things. You know what I mean? His dad was also a college baller. So it's a bunch of conversations that could have. And I think if he had went to Delaware State, it would have been when he first went out of high school. And I'm pretty sure he feels a certain type of way that he wasn't recruited initially, or if they ain't coming to him, because I'm sure he ain't looking for them.
Understandable.
Yeah, and I just left Virginia State's campus the other day, man, and it's a beautiful campus, man. A lot of new buildings there, and I did my CIAA stadium rankings, and they came in number 2, a controversial number 2, but there's a. Hey, listen.
Please don't say it.
Listen.
Behind who?
Listen.
Please don't say it.
Listen.
Behind who?
You've never been to a game there. But anyway, listen.
Behind who? Behind who?
That's a racetrack, man.
That is not on.
Nobody counts that as a real
down. Oh, here we go to Homer. The Homer.
Everybody, here we go. But it's everyone, Cobi, and this is what we gotta deal with already.
But everybody's picture is coming from them playing at Bowman Gray Stadium. I'm just saying, it's something special about that place.
All right, so I'm gonna go over that. So we know this. Virginia State got quarterback continuity. And that's the beauty of it. And them about to win. And plus, I like Frazier.
Well, quarterback wasn't their problem, though, last year, though. We know defensive back. Their defense, that back line was suspect.
But Union put the clamps on RJ that game. You know what I mean? But Frazier, I like Frazier swag. The championship will come through Petersburg. Direct quote, Henry Frazier III. Excuse me, Dr. Henry Frazier III.
Well, of course he's going to say that.
You don't think he means it?
He mean it.
I'm sure he means it.
Okay.
I'm
Just
sure
like
he means
we know
it,
you're
but
going to say
saying,
the Bowman Gray is the best stadium in the CIAA. It's also the best NASCAR track in the CIAA too.
The only one.
It's also got the most capacity, the biggest homecoming, all of that good stuff. Yeah. Okay. How about that? So anyway, we got him coming back. We got Curtis. Got the most championships.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Anyway, see, I got me off of here. We wasn't even talking about the watch your ram mouth, man. All right, let's see. We will go on the other side of. We'll go up. We'll get off 85 and go up 95 to Virginia Union. Now, speaking of what people do have and who is coming back, this is about who isn't coming back, and that's Curtis Allen. Listen, he's the first Harlan Hill Trophy winner in the history of the school, the conference, or HBCUs. So let's not act like you get one of those every day.
Okay.
I know the propaganda's out there about, this, that, and the third, but obviously big shoes to fill there. But I'm not really worried about their running game in general. I'm sure their running game will be good. They won't have RoboCop running, but they'll be pretty good. But the passing game is usually the question up there on Lombard Street. So, let's see. But and then we've also got to look at Fayetteville State. Those Broncos. They besides that one year where they fell off the wagon, they're usually in contention. And a lot of people think highly of them. I talked to Chris for our show on Wednesday, which has now been rebranded to CIAA versus everybody. We'll let that other conference sit down while the CIAA stands up. And
they actually play each other this year too.
Yes. Yeah. So we got Fayetteville State. VSU has been hanging around every year. Everybody, that one year they picked them to win it over. They picked them to win it over Union, and they didn't even make it to the championship game. But that is what it is. So those have kind of been the four, and then we'll see. Now, which CIAA contender lost something that nobody is talking about enough? Or just before we get out of the CIAA, any team out of that top four, Virginia Union, Johnson C. Smith, Fayetteville State, or Virginia State, because we do know that they are going to have 2 games that weekend. So 4 teams will be there. Odds are it will be those 4 teams. But if there's a team outside of those 4 that will end up in Durham, both of you guys got to give me one.
A team that's outside of that 4 that'll end up in Durham?
That'll end, yes.
Smoke crack, don't you?
Shaw, because they play at the stadium. So Shaw.
that's the only.
Shaw play at the stadium, so that's the only.
I can't see it.
I guess.
Out of those 4, I can't see it. I can't either. Now, I tell you who I like coaching. I can tell you who I like coaching, but I don't think ECSU is going to be there. But I love the coach. I love what he's doing with the program, and it's really improved. And I don't know what it is. Bluefield State coach, I like him. And I like what he's trying to do with the program with the little bit he has. But they just play football for him. Everybody gets down there and plays football for him. Now, do I think they're going to break the top 4? No. Do I think ECSU is going to break the top 4? No, but I like what the hell they're doing. Because like you brought up a few quick things about the CIAA, right? I mean about Virginia Union. But they got Rosales back, starting at quarterback, 2,000 yards, 21 touchdowns. They got Trayvon Tinsley at running back. He already had an 800-yard All-CIA back, right? And then what I cannot refuse, I cannot refute and argue, tradition and culture. They play 4-11, as coach says all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then he brought up them losing Curtis Allen. That's nasty work, Steve. That's real nasty work.
Because they nasty work he lost.
But you know this. Hold up, can I say this? Every year there's one going. We said, how can they replace Jada Byers? Then you said, how can they replace the other running back? Like that's disrespect. They find a way. They get a person, and then you want to leave out Trayvon Tinsley if he wasn't up and coming back.
I didn't say they couldn't. I just said, do they?
Right, and then
listen, Curtis. I will tell you this right here. Curtis Allen covered a multitude of sins because passing them as a passing team, and also not only that, he also covered the fact that they couldn't really their pass defense was not good.
I don't disagree, but they find a way to win. Rosales had 2,000 yards and 21 touchdowns, man.
That's because everybody had to stop RoboCop.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's the identity of the team. That's the identity of the team. Now I'm gonna say this. I also can say this, right? And it's the beginning of the season. We can say whatever we want, but Maurice Flowers said this: the perfume is great to smell, but dangerous to taste. So we can say whatever we want. You cannot exclude JCSU, Johnson C. Smith, right?
They got second. I think I know why, because their quarterback is in question. And kind of the same thing with, like you said about Delaware State. They have I went to their spring game back whenever they had it months ago. They had a couple of different quarterbacks that they were trying to work through and see which ones they was going to go with. But I can tell you this right now. The run game is going to be just fine, and that defense is going to be just fine. I can tell you both of that right now. I don't know about quarterback through the air. I don't know what they're going to do about that. The DBs are a little bit on the smaller side, but I will tell you this. You will not be able to run the ball versus them, and they're going to be able to run the ball. I will tell you that.
And I've learned not to count out Coach Flowers.
Can't
but you got to give Parker and his team, his system, and those coaches up at VUU their respect too, because they for the last 5 years consistently sitting there. And then when you get to Fayetteville State, come on, Coach Hayes.
You're gonna get
Coach Hayes. What for what last 10 years? How many times he been in the championship game?
At least 3 that I can count from me covering.
Yeah,
it was 6.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So like you can't. So like I can't. In my heart, I can't count any other team besides what I call the Big Four: Virginia State, Fayetteville, Johnson C. Smith, and Virginia Union. I don't see no other team being able to crack that group.
Okay. We'll see. We will see. Hey, that's why they play the game. And
Why, you thought we was going to say Winston-Salem? I know you didn't think we was going to say Winston-Salem. Are you? You must be tasting the perfume.
I will say this though. They're the all-conference leader in reception yards last year. What did come from Bluefield State? He did transfer to Winston, but they don't have Dylan Lee no more. So I don't know about the quarterback.
Yeah. He transferred back to Winston.
Yeah,
because he was there before.
He's back at Winston now, and he did lead the conference last year.
Listen, I didn't say nothing, man. Listen,
you see him?
You know.
You see how he get.
I have not brought them up directly at any time.
You see, y'all keep bringing them up. Steve, you slick with it. Don't play with me. Now you playing with my emotions.
Y'all keep bringing them up. Cobi, it's gonna be worse because he ain't said it yet, but I'm telling you, it's gonna happen soon.
And now I'm gonna tear him up every time. I ain't giving him a break.
They won the championship. The girls won the championship. He not. I'm telling you.
Oh, flag football.
That and the basketball. He ain't brought it up yet, but I'm telling you, we gonna hear about it all year. We gonna hear
not if that Fayetteville State coach get on his ass.
He ain't had a chance to say nothing because we ain't had no show since. But I'm telling you,
I can't wait till Chaney get in the CIAA. But go ahead, go off. What's next, Steve?
The only coach I got to worry about is Coach Tierra Terry in women's basketball. Ain't no other. Everybody else, she the champ. She the champ. We the champs. Hats off to the champs since y'all brought them up. See, I was
let's go. We'll moderate. What's the next section?
No. Because every year, Cobi, everybody knows that I'm a Ram. Everybody knows that I love WSSU. That's no secret. But you damn near got everything but a degree from Virginia Union. So you are are you
questioning my journalistic integrity?
You are
questioning my journalistic integrity?
You're a halfway closeted Virginia Union stand.
Ain't nothing closeted.
So
I love all my people.
Closet. Exactly.
I love all my people.
There we go. Because as soon as I said, hey, he's big shoes to fill. The man just won the Harvard Hill. Like, what else are you supposed to say?
But every year they say they got big shoes to fill, Steve.
Yeah, Steve, we can't say
you got to be realistic.
We watched Jada Byers. We watched Jada Byers.
And what was the running back before him?
We watched
and nobody. Now listen. Nobody was super surprised because again, we've been watching Curtis Allen before. We knew
you would
he
be
could play.
Surprised about Trayvon Tinsley? Like, come on. The only reason he was sitting the bench and didn't get the rock that much is because he was behind Curtis. So, like, what we talking about?
All I'm gonna say is I don't doubt running back factory, aka Virginia Union. I don't doubt.
Say that again. Say hold up. That wasn't me who said that. Say that again one more time.
I don't.
One more again.
I don't doubt.
How many they got drafted?
How
many they got drafted? Let's see.
How many of them has ran through the CIAA consistently? Like they always produce somebody.
They on the run. Hats off to them. They on the run. They on the run right now. But every run comes to an end. Rome does not last forever. If you know, you know.
Yeah, anyway, we know. Check out Winston.
You know, Rome don't last forever. You know. See, look at you. Why are you so just hating to be hating? I ain't even have to see, guys. This is how
you a homer and you be throwing. Let's move on.
Listen, I don't even have to say anything.
Move on, man.
I don't have to say anything.
Next
man.
segment.
Rent free in Toby's head. All right. No, because you're not going to do me like this about Winston. Damn it. I'm serious. Now, that's not what you're not going to do. All right. Let's go to the SWAC. Andrew Body. Playing my Ram face like that. All right. Let's go to the SWAC. Alabama State predicted to win the SWAC East.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Don't like it.
You're not buying it. Okay? So do you think it's still Jackson State's division to win?
Yes, I do. And the sole reason why I say that is because Alabama State lost a lot on offense. Mm-hmm. Now, even though Andrew Body is the offense, we can't just discredit that they had an HBCU All-American like Jalen Jones that was out there killing it at receiver. They lost another receiver as well. I can't think of his name right now. But they lost two of their main top two starting receivers that were both HBCU All-Americans. Jalen Jones with the Texas Tech, transferred to Texas Tech, one of the top teams in the country now. So that just lets you know how great of a player he was. And then also, I can't remember where the other kid went, but they both transferred out. The defense, I don't have no problem with because Eddie Robinson, he's always going to have a great defense with him. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't know, like, Andrew Body's going to have to do even more than what he did last year. Is it possible? It's very much so. It's Andrew Body. I mean, come on now. But it's going to be a lot more. He's got to stay healthy. Exactly.
You know?
And now to go to Jackson State, to where we've already seen Jared Lockhart. Yes, it's going to be his first full season starting. We already seen how he's looked. Second year in the system, he's going to be more comfortable. Also, they got their HBCU All-American back, Nate Rimmer, who in the NCAA rules somehow, some way, don't ask me about it. I don't know nothing about it, but he got an extra year of eligibility. How? I don't know, but he's back. They lost Travis Terrell Jr. I understand that. He's going to Purdue. I get it. But they also have preseason All-American Cam Silas. They have another receiver, Joannis Artillery, something like that. Can't pronounce his name correctly. I'm so sorry if you see this, but I feel like we know.
Forcillian,
Yeah, I feel like we know what we're going to get with JSU compared on offensively and defensively side of the ball compared to the unknown on and outside of Andrew Body. We don't know what we're going to get outside of Alabama State. So that's the one reason why I say I don't like that Alabama State gets the nod over JSU. Like, that's the only reason. I get it.
Why not PV, man? You sleeping on PV?
PV's in the
we
other
were
side.
just talking about the East. We were just talking about the East.
PV's on the
But
West. PV's on the West. I ain't got no problem with PV. Even though you did bring it up. They're on the West. I get it. So there ain't no really much competition over there other than Grambling, I guess you want to say, whatever, cool. But I don't know what to expect from PV either, outside of defense, because I know Tremaine Jackson, you're always going to have a great defense, exotic blitzes, and the 3-3 high defense. I know Coach Jackson, I love his defensive scheme as a former defensive player in college. But offensive side of the ball, they lost Cameron Peters, and they lost their star receiver, Josiah Rock. Who's going to play quarterback? Like we just said with the MEAC. Who's going to play quarterback in the top 3 schools? Who's going to play quarterback for PV? I don't know. Now, defensively, like I just said, Coach Jackson, I believe in you. I got faith in you. I know you're going to get the job done. But who's going to throw the ball? Who's going to catch the ball? I know they got their HBCU All-American coming back. Their tight end, he's coming back. But you need more than just a tight end to run the offense. You need the quarterback. You need good weapons on the outside that can spread the ball down the field like Josiah did and Cameron Peters did. A lot of to the reason why they did so good in the Celebration Bowl. But as you guys seen in the Celebration Bowl, the offense was dead in the second half. So I'm just saying I don't know if I like how the Sweat got these preseason rankings going. Now, may I be wrong? I might be. But I'm going to go with what I've already seen compared to the unknown. Just me personally.
But the problem with Jackson State is they got new linemen. Their O-line is questionable.
Very true.
So now when we're sitting here talking about that, remember what I said in the beginning. Who got the best quarterback in the conference?
Andrew Body.
Right? What do we say need to be important to win a championship? The O-line. They got a quarterback, but who would you rather have? Jared Lockhart or Andrew Body?
Andrew Body, 100% of the time.
All right then. And who got the better line right now?
Alabama State right now.
All right, I rest my case.
And I understand that, but once again, Body can't throw it to himself. He can't. He can't throw it to himself. And like I said, also, Jared in his second season. Fully in the offense with his best player coming back.
I got you, but if they can't protect him,
I'm with you. I'm with you on
only thing he gonna be throwing himself to the hospital.
And I'm with you on that. And also
because they got good defenses, like you talked about. They lost their 2 running
backs as well. They lost their 2 running backs. They lost Travis.
Well, they're gonna have to be a running game. They're gonna be like Virginia Union.
Every team needs a running game for their quarterback to succeed.
Well, I'm talking about with them linemen.
I just personally believe I'm going to lean more towards what I've seen already compared to the unknown within that. And also, Jared Lockhart is from North Carolina, and that's my dog. I filmed him in high school, so
I got
a little bit of a bias.
Respect.
Tad bit of a bias.
So
all right. So let's as we get ready to close, because everybody's got to get ready for the week. Man, God, I literally thought about this today. Literally, media coaches press conferences are tomorrow. The weekly media news conferences are tomorrow. Oh man, I'm happy, but man, I'm already tired. All right, let's get over. Let's play. We got something new we're bringing to the show. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we won't. We'll see. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. But this is going to be called Saxophones Getting Louder. Now, this doesn't automatically mean somebody needs to be fired or benched. But it does mean that something's starting to feel dangerous. So it can be a coach, a player, a coordinator, a preseason favorite, a quarterback situation, program expectation, or somebody who might need to start looking over their shoulder. All right, so let's Josh, go ahead and tell me who the saxophones are getting louder for in your estimation.
So for me personally, I got two.
Oh, okay.
Number 1, Morgan State head coach. I like him. I like him a lot. I do. But it gets to a point to where you're always feeding us all this information every preseason, and during the season, you can't put together the offense. You can't find the quarterback. You can't develop one. We got to figure something out. We're tired of seeing the defenses ball out and the offense never come to play. We're tired of seeing you have the weapons on the outside like Cobi tells us every single year, but they can't find the quarterback. We got to see it sometime. Sometime it has to come into fruition, Coach. Coach Wilson, correct? Coach Damian Wilson, correct?
Yeah.
We got to put it together, Coach. And I like it. Met you, dapped you up, shook your hand. Cool guy, great energy. I loved it. Had a great time at Morgan State. Cobi was there with me, to be exact. Had a great time. But this what year is this for him? Five. And in all 5 years, we've heard, our defense is great. We think we got the offense figured out. It's been 5 years, big dog. We got to figure it out. So that's my one. And my number 2 is kind of expected, but not really though. I was a little bit high on them last year, and they sold me short. A&T, Coach Gibbs. Hey, I know.
Year 2? They didn't get ladder in year 2? Well,
me out.
The last coach did get out in 2.
Hear me out. They wanted you. They bought out the last coach to come and get you. You setting a lot of expectations. You talking a lot. And I like it, Coach Gibbs. You my dog. Dap them up. You know what I'm saying? Been to a couple of games. I had faith in you last year. You let me down. You know what I'm saying? But if there's any year to beat Central, it's this one. If it's any other year to beat Central, to finally get back on track into this rivalry, it's this one. When we were talking about we don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be. Yes, they got the MEAC Player of the Year, Preseason Player of the Year, and Chance Peterson, but they ain't got the quarterbacks that they used to have to dominate y'all. This season, you got to figure out a way to get over that hump. Because if not, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly because this is your second year. You got the recruit. You got at least one more. Because if you go 3 years and you won't win over 5 games, they're going to be calling for your head next, Coach. And Coach Gibbs, you know you're my dog. My dog. But we got to figure something out. At least just beat Central. Just beat them in one of their lowest years. Can we all agree that this is probably going to be one of Central's lowest years in the past 5 years? It's going to be one of their lowest years more than likely. You got to catch them while they down. Even though y'all down too, but maybe y'all on an even playing field now. You feel what I'm saying? So if there's any year to get it done, got to be this one.
Well, we'll find out Saturday. Because if they don't beat Morgan, they ain't beating Central.
They ain't going to beat Central. You know? But I ain't going to lie. We ain't talk about it. I ain't going to say too much. I went to Central Spring game.
You better watch out for Trey Oliver bang you from the...
Oliver, my dog. Coach Oliver, my dog. Coach Oliver, my dog. I'm always scheming.
All right.
That's my dog.
All right. Let's get to Jacoby. Who are the saxophones getting louder for in your estimation?
Well, I can agree with Josh, with Coach Wilson. That's my man. But I can understand everybody else's perspective. But I do understand like where he came from. Unlike a lot of this, even when you talk about Delaware State ain't had a problem, Norfolk State, he had 35 people at spring ball when he got there. He established institutional control. He improved grades. But I know at the end of the day, everybody on the outside, nobody sees that. All they see is W's. And they expected him to finally get some W's. And they got ballers. And they always have ballers. Now they got a quarterback. Hopefully we'll see this week. And we'll move there. I didn't get a chance to see him this spring ball. A lot of things going on. But he said that's one of the most intelligent quarterback rooms that he has. And I trust him. But if he doesn't win a significant amount, or if he doesn't win some of them games, those 6-point games, if that doesn't turn around, I know people are going to start blowing the saxophones. And Michael Vick, if he turns around another only beat Division II's year, you better start blowing them horns. Yeah. The only reason they're paying him for almost $500,000.
Yeah, but it's like
to be 3-9.
I don't know though. I don't know because it's like it's like, what do you want from your institution as an athlete or whoever controls the hiring, the firing?
Yeah.
And that?
Well, that's the same thing.
So do you want wins?
Well, people gonna stop coming. And Lincoln, if Lincoln doesn't turn around soon, that their coach might have a issue too. And I like Coach Turner. Coach Turner is solid, great person, great everything. But if he doesn't put some wins on the board,
I got a quick question for you, Cobi.
Go ahead.
If you think, do you think if Vic has like another season to where he doesn't win a Division I game, and let's just say they have a chance to fire him to go get a better coach, like if Union's coach opens up for the job and they would go get Union, do you think they would go get Union's coach and get rid of Vic?
I don't know. Like I don't know in this day and age, because I have a few coaches that I think if they were in better situations, they would have more wins. Like I told you, I think like when you look at Virginia Union staff of coaches, they had any one of their coordinators probably could be a head coach somewhere. You look at Davon Morgan at Bluefield. I mean, his resources isn't like any other place, but he gets players and he gets them the ball out, and they end up leaving. They come, stay a year, and leave. You know, it's coaches like that. I mean, you got Coach Flowers. So like, I don't know what people are looking for, or what they're trying to do, or what they're trying to put together. But I mean, and I cover the North mostly. I can be honest. If it's below Virginia, I'm not sitting there. But those coaches right there, definitely. I really think Davon Morgan would be good if he went somewhere. You got Diego, the running back coach at Virginia Union, the defensive coordinator at Virginia Union. You know what I mean? Morgan State has a plethora of coaches that have been there and that produce. Their defensive coaches are phenomenal. So, I mean, I don't know.
I was thinking, because like I was saying, like, if he has another losing season, will they go get a great coach to fulfill the winning, but it may not put more.
It depends on what they want and what they see. Yeah, you know, if they see progress,
yeah,
right. That's all that matters sometimes. And then they're invested in him, because they got to see if the university's invested in him, and that's what matters. But they paying him a lot of money to lose.
Yeah, and like I know we talked about it last year. You know, you got the basketball program. You know, how much money is going over there whenever they're actually winning. You know, so it's definitely a topic, you know, that we could talk about another day.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get mine too. My saxophones are getting louder. So before I do this, taking this hat off, I'm putting this hat on.
All right, Rashad McCants, what's your props?
Okay. I got two names too. I'm gonna go ahead and two names too. One of them is in the SWAC, Mickey Joseph, the head coach over at Grambling State. You know, obviously we saw what Prairie View did last year. Texas Southern is kind of in the background. We're going to see what they're going to do. Obviously, everybody's talking about Marshall Faulk as well. But Mickey Joseph, you know, I think they won 7 games last year. But, you know, you start to peel away that. You had a couple of sub D1 games, I believe. And, you know, Grambling is a place, you know, is one of those places where they expect to get to a championship. They have championship expectations, and they haven't been there in a while, and I know what that's like. So I know over there at Grambling, you know, their patience with them you know, let them have another 7-win season and lose the Bayou Classic again. Hey, man, I don't know what to tell you.
They beat Jackson, didn't they?
They did beat Jackson. They beat Jackson. They beat Jackson the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. But then they lose games that they aren't supposed to win. So that's there. And this other one, man, is controversial, but I'm gonna put it out there because why not? I think they're getting louder in Ettrick, Virginia.
Ooh.
I think for Coach Frazier.
That's a good one, honestly.
You know, again, they've done a stellar job, you know, and you know, it's a new day of football. It's his first job after being out of head coaching for a while, and they've had some success. They made it to the championship that 1 year, but he's the highest paid coach in the CIAA. And he's been there. This is year 5 for him as well, you know. And I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's on the hot seat. You know, because I think Virginia State's a But I will say, I mean, when you are the highest paid coach in the conference and you haven't got a championship yet, and last year I think what were they 6-4? They were 6-4 last year. Took a step back. So I feel like the saxophone's got to be getting louder for Virginia State and Dr. Frazier. And I know, I'm gonna see him, and I know he's gonna let me hear about it. But look, it just is what it is, right? It wouldn't be me if I didn't say something that was gonna take somebody off. So
they went 6-4. They went 6-4 and 4-3 in the CIAA.
6-4, 4-3. Now that was 1 year, but that 1 year they started off 8-0 and didn't get in. Then the other year, they've had some good starts or whatever. So I think the pressure's got to be on in Ettrick. I mean, he's making some good money. But, they pay good money up there. So we'll see. Saxophones getting louder over in Ettrick, Petersburg. All right. All right. It's not quite September yet. We got our first week to go. All right, let's go ahead and put it on tape. All right, we kind of got a lot of this. Taken care of. But what's your hot take of the week as we head into this week 0, week 1? Josh, what's your hot take of the week? It could be an upset. It could be a player, that's gonna break out and wow everybody. It could be any of that. It could be even band related. So
I'm not touching bands ever again. I'm not touching bands ever again.
All right.
I'm gonna take a leap of faith on Cobi on this one, just because I didn't believe in him last year with Delaware State, and he was right. So Cobi my dog, and I'm gonna take a leap of faith with him this year. My hot take: Morgan State has finally found a quarterback to run their offense. I'm hoping it's the case to help me out this weekend. But my hot take is Cobi's been telling us, they even said that this is probably one of the smartest quarterbacks he's had, one of the ones that he's liked the most. And I'm gonna take Cobi's I'm gonna take Cobi's word, because last year I gained up on Cobi. I didn't believe Delaware State train, and I had to, I had to take that L. So this year I'm gonna have faith in my dog. This year, Morgan State is going to have a real legit offense, an actual offense with a real quarterback at the helm. So that's my hot take. Cobi, if you're wrong, I'm gonna have to talk to you.
All right, Cobi, your hot take of the week.
Oh, I'm scared to say this because I don't want to get banned from Central. But they use a lot of bulletin board material.
They do.
But I do believe the championship game, the MEAC championship game, will be at South Carolina State last game of the season.
And if you guys don't know, that is South Carolina State versus Delaware State. Delaware State comes down to South Carolina.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying.
Okay.
I thought you was gonna say something else to kind of what I touched on a little bit earlier.
Oh, no, I haven't seen them that much.
I thought you was gonna say that. That's a bold one.
No.
I said what I said, but I still don't think that they're gonna get the job done. But yeah, I thought you was gonna say that. I said that's a bold hot take.
My hot take is that the CIAA will sweep the soft,
of course,
inflated athletic conference.
I can see it.
Yeah, CIAA will sweep them. I think there's only 4 games this year, including Johnson C. Man, I'm putting my faith in Johnson C. Smith. I know they won the championship last year, but it still don't feel right.
So what you saying that? Are you saying somebody went? There's a CIAA versus MEAC game this weekend, right?
No, I said SIAC.
Oh, okay. I thought you said CIAA. Oh, okay.
I know. I said CIAA versus SIAC. And that's what the soft, inflated athletic conference. Yes.
Gotcha.
No, that would be the protracted conference. Okay. So yeah. All right. Last but not least, where is everybody headed? Where we actually go in, start with Cobi, then go Josh, and then it'll be me.
So I'm going two places. I'm going to Delaware State on Thursday. Albany State versus Delaware State. And I'm looking to see if they can start off and observe their players and see if they're in the same place they were last year. They were a very physical team against the University of Delaware last year, and they looked really good from the beginning. I want to see if they're going to continue that cycle because I really I really do like Coach D-Jack as a coach and what he's trying to do with the team and what he's put together, the culture he's built, the discipline he's put in there. I really do like what the team is, and the team likes each other. Like I've been around the team in other atmospheres, and I really see the positive energy that he's put into his team. And then I'm gonna go hang out with Steve to see if Michael Vick can get his first win against WSSU. You know what I mean? And the thing that I'm most interested is to see how this. I know I talk a lot, and I was talking about the quarterback last year in Norfolk State, but I really like the kid from California, his energy, the energy he had with his teammates at Media Day. I really want to see, and my biggest thing is to see if this kid really can play, and what's that going to mean for Michael Vick going into the season? Because if that kid can ball out, that's going to mean a lot. Huh?
Is he a new kid or was he on the roster last year?
Nah, he's a JUCO player from California, so I'm not sure because he hasn't officially named him as a starter, but if he sends him to MEAC Media Day, then he's probably the one
for sure.
that's leading the thing. But I'm really looking to see him. And my thing is if this young boy can play, because I know what Steve is saying, and I get it. You know what I mean? With the potential that this game could be a trap game for Norfolk State.
For sure.
But I'm expecting them to blow out Winston-Salem. Nothing against, it's just a D1, D2. So I'm not trying to put down Winston-Salem. I'm expecting them to put something on them if this quarterback can really ball out and if he brought in those right players. And that's what I want to see. If it's a tough game, he's going to have a long season.
To your point, Norfolk State's only win last year came to Virginia State. So they're only,
and that was an overtime kick.
Yep, that was an overtime. That's the game I went to. SD card broke. Sad, hated it. But that game was very much back and forth. Virginia State took control of that game early. That was the game where I figured out who Matthews was. And I was like, how is this player not at Alabama? Like he was getting out the pocket every time and making a throw. So, if Norfolk State coming there tiptoeing, Winston can punch him in the mouth. Like we talked about. They do have the advantage. They got the coach that just came from the school. So it could definitely be a trap game. Definitely can.
Where you headed, Josh?
Where am I headed? Well, elaborated on it a little bit earlier, but I will be going to the illustrious, institution, North Carolina A&T. I'll be there for their season opener. I'll be there taking on Morgan State. As I touched on earlier, I hope to see that what Cobi and Damon Wilson has said about their new quarterback situation, because I truly have felt like Morgan State has been one of the better teams in the MEAC. Their offense just hasn't been able to pick up the load that the defense carries. Like we're literally seeing what's his name, Eric Hunter go crazy in the preseason. Elijah Williams going crazy in the preseason. Their defensive players have always shown up and been outstanding players. It's just the offensive side of the ball can never pick it up. And I feel like there's no better game to try and show forth the offensive side of the ball than versus A&T. With all due respect, A&T would be like the perfect. If it's a new quarterback, it's a perfect chance to get your feet wet into college football. And then also, if I recall correctly, the last time that these two teams played was whenever A&T was on that big win streak. And then Morgan State knocked them off that win streak. So if I'm pretty sure, if my information does me correct, this game has a lot of, history behind it. So hopefully it's some bad mouthing going on, a little bit of excitement, some actual energy put into it. Players' first game out, want to hear the pass pop, and I want to have a great game. So yeah, I'll be over there in Greensboro.
Yeah, man, all those MEAC schools fake hate A&T now because, they left the country club. But I'm a Ram. We've been hating A&T for real forever. So, whatever. It's cute. It'd be something to talk. It'd be something to talk about. But I will be heading up to Norfolk as well. Looking forward to it. A lot of excitement at Winston-Salem State, for Coach Woodbury's first game. the first game of his era, and get a chance to play against Norfolk State. So the Rams are rolling up to the 757. We're gonna paint the city, the whole 757, red and black, and we're actually red and white. Those are actually really our colors. Black's not our actual official color, but anyway, now we're gonna have a good Ram time. We're gonna do some alumni stuff, and it's gonna be a good time. And I think that there's potential. There's potential in this game for it to be good. I think if the Rams can keep it close, anything can happen. I think Norfolk State is a team that they got a lot of new pieces, right? From last year, they had to get a lot of new pieces. So. It's still a live action. It's still, they've been practicing together and everything like that, but it's still a live action game. And some things you just don't know until you actually get in the heat of battle. So I think it's, hopefully it'll be a good game. And I have a good time either way. But all right, guys, that is it for season 2, episode 1 of the Road Warriors. Please, should have said this already at the beginning of the video. Make sure you hype us up. That's the new thing on YouTube and all of that good stuff. So hit that hype button so a lot of people can see this. And let us know where you think that we should go in week 1/2. Now, are we going to go? And I'm not going to say all that. We got to check the budget. But, at least let us know. And we will catch you guys in the next video for Jacoby and for Josh. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.